Now, if you're new to the game, you're learning everything about the sport, but let's not let the rules of golf be the one thing that confuses you and spoils your enjoyment of this great game. So in this video, we're going to bring you the 6 golf rules every beginner needs to know, whether it's etiquette in bunkers, provisional balls, looking for your ball, all that sort of thing. By the end of this video, you will know exactly the rules of golf that are going to help you get your way around the course if you're a beginner golfer. We've got Fergus Bisset, our rules expert, is going to answer all your questions, and we're here at the beautiful Trump International Golf Links, the new course. It's an absolutely incredible venue. Let's get into the video. Oh, now Fergus, beginner golfers and people new to the game are probably quite familiar with that scenario. You try and hit the ball, you miss it, but surely you're in luck. That doesn't count as a shot and you can have another go, no questions asked.
I'm afraid it does count as a shot. In this, we need to look at the definitions within the rules. What actually is a stroke? And it is the forward movement of the club made to strike the ball. Now, if you have purposefully attempted to hit the ball, as I believe you did there.
I would agree with you, I did try and hit the ball.
Then I'm afraid that counts as a stroke, whether you make contact with it or not. You would now be standing up to play your second shot in this situation. There are instances where you can pull out of a shot if you deliberately miss the ball. If, for instance, you're put off by something and as you're coming that you can't stop the swing, but you deliberately miss the ball, that won't count as a stroke. Tiger Woods famously used to be able to stop mid-swing.
That's right, he used to just stop sort of there.
He did,
yeah.
And that wouldn't count as a stroke. However, in this instance, you have deliberately attempted to make a strike at the ball and it counts as a stroke, I'm sorry to say.
So what if you were sort of swinging down and as you swung down you noticed the ball had fallen off the tee? So you're sort of saying if you sort of pulled out to sort of stop your attempt at hitting the ball as it's fallen off the tee, that wouldn't count as a shot?
You're correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So there you go. Beginner golfers, take note of that. If you try and hit the ball, unfortunately, whether you hit it or not, it counts as a shot. Now Fergus, beginner golfers, I think it's fair to say, would be tempted to experiment with lots of different clubs in certain areas of the bag while they're figuring out what's right for them.
Yeah.
But that could leave them liable for some penalty shots under the rules of golf. Can you explain exactly what the rules say in terms of the number of clubs they have in the bag? Okay,
well it's rule 4.1b and it basically says that you cannot have more than 14 clubs in your bag. That's the key number.
Yeah.
You can't start around with more than 14 clubs in your bag. You can't add clubs as you go around so that you've got more than 14 in your bag.
Yeah.
If you do have more than 14 in your bag and you discover that and you haven't declared at the start of the round, then you're going to face a penalty. Now I see you've got 2 putters in there. How many have you got?
I do have 2 putters, as you can see here, which gives actually the total is now 15.
15.
Yeah.
And you didn't declare that at the start of the round?
No, because we're on the 10th hole here at the new course at Trump International. So
I'm afraid you're going to face the maximum penalty for not declaring that you have more than 14 clubs in the bag, and it would be 4 shots in stroke play, and it would be 2 holes lost in match play.
Okay.
We're playing stroke play, so
yeah.
I think you're going to be adding 4 to your score.
What are the steps I need to take to declare? So say I realise I've got 15 clubs. What are the steps I need to take to declare a club out of play so that I don't incur any additional penalty shots?
Well, it would be quite simple. At the start of the round, before you teed off, if you noticed you were carrying this extra putter, you would just say to me, I've got this extra putter in the bag, I will not be playing with it during the round, it is out of play. That's fine, you can then carry it. As long as you don't play with any shots with it, then that's all right. If you've noticed after 1 or 2 holes, then you can do the same, you can declare it. If you manage to notice after 1 hole and declared it, you would only face a 2-shot penalty.
Yeah.
If it's 2 holes into the round, it's 4 shots or loss of 2 holes.
Yeah. And I think it's good practice if you do realise, and to say you want to take your 2 iron out of play, maybe sort of turn it around in your bag so that you're not tempted to use it.
Yeah, that would be what you would do at the start of the game. You'd say, I'm carrying this 2 iron. I put it like this because I'm not playing with it.
Yeah. So there you go. If you're a beginner golfer, make sure you count your clubs before you tee off. You're only allowed 14, and if you have more than that, you could incur some penalty shots.
Joel, what are you up to?
Oh, I'm commenting on a Golf Monthly YouTube video. Right. And don't forget, if you got a comment on this video, you've got any questions about the rules of golf, Fergus is our man, our rules expert. He will answer them for you. And while I'm here, I'm going to subscribe to the Golf Monthly YouTube channel. It's great. All sorts of videos on there, equipment, tips, rules, what's in the bags, you name it, it's all there. And if you're liking this video, make sure you click the like button. It really helps us out. Should we get back to the video?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Fergus, it's in a bit of trouble over there.
Could be.
It's one of those situations where I'm not sure where that's gone.
Yeah.
And as a beginner golfer, I think they make the mistake of not taking the appropriate action on the tee now.
Yeah.
That's going to sort of cause some dire consequences down the line, down the hole. So what should beginner golfers be doing in this situation where you hit your tee shot, you're not really sure where it's gone?
Well, I think the key thing to do when you really don't know what's happened and it could be lost or it could be out of bounds, in this case it could well be lost, is to play a provisional ball. It's rule 18.3a. It allows you to do so if you think that your ball might be lost. What you do is you would say to me, Fergus, I'm playing a provisional ball. It's quite important that you declare that you're playing a provisional ball. If you don't declare it or make it clear that you are playing a ball provisionally, then the next ball that you hit from this tee would be counting no matter whether you find that one or not. Yeah. However, if you play a provisional ball and declare it, then either one might come to your rescue down there. If you find your original ball, you can play that. If not, you can go to the provisional and you'll be playing your fourth shot from down there. It would effectively have been 3 off the tee. Yeah,
and I think this is really important for pace of play, right? So you don't want to have to get down there, realise you can't find your ball. Obviously, if you're a beginner golfer, you'd be tempted to just drop one down there. But under the rules of golf, technically, you're not allowed to do that. You have to play another one from the tee. So it just saves you having to walk all the way down there, walk all the way back.
It saves that long walk back.
The long walk back,
wants to make.
Which nobody wants to make. It's quite embarrassing. So there you go. Always remember to declare a provisional. And there's certain phraseology that you have to use, right, when you're saying it.
It's easiest just to say, I'm playing a provisional.
Yeah.
There are certain things that you could say that would make it clear that it was a provisional. You couldn't just say, I'm playing another.
You couldn't say that.
But if you said, I'm playing another just in case, that implies that you're playing.
Okay.
It's a tricky one, so I think that my advice is always say, I am playing a provisional ball.
There you go. So if you think you've potentially lost your ball, say you're hitting a provisional, hit another one, and then you haven't got to do that dreaded walk back to the tee from the fairway and holding everyone up. Right, Fergus, beginner golfers are quite likely, I would say, to hit their golf ball into some undesirable areas, shall we say, and I would say that we are in one of those right here. This is where I've hit my ball into. Talk us through some of the rules that apply when it comes to looking for your ball, because at the moment I can't find it.
Okay, well, I think the key thing to know here is rule 18.2a, and it's the fact that you have 3 minutes to find your golf ball from the point where you reach the area where you think it is and begin to search for it. So actually either you or your caddy, if you're lucky enough to have a caddy.
Be nice.
Not in this instance. So at the point where you arrived in this area where you think your ball is, you begin to search. You've got 3 minutes, and you've got to be really careful with that because it's not a long time.
No,
it's,
it goes pretty quickly.
That amount of time will go quite quickly. And if you haven't found it within 3 minutes, then that ball is lost, and your only option is then to go back and play under penalty of 1 shot from where you played the original shot from that ended up in here. Yeah,
I think it goes without saying that if you think you've hit your ball into somewhere like this, you should have hit a provisional ball.
Should have hit a provisional ball, probably, yeah. Sometimes, you know, you just don't expect to end up in a situation like this, and in that case, it might be the walk back. You've got that 3 minutes, make use of it, but don't overstretch it.
There you go. So if you do hit your ball into a nasty spot, you get 3 minutes to find it. If you don't, it's back to the tee or you're playing your provisional. Right, so Fergus, I think it's fair to say that beginner golfers would be quite keen to ask questions or seek information from people that they're playing golf with to try and learn about the game and help them around the course, especially if that person is of a higher skill level than them. So what do the rules allow and don't allow you to do in terms of the information you can glean from others when you're playing on the golf course?
I think that the key thing here is advice, and it's 10.2, rule 10.2. You are not allowed to ask for or give advice to a fellow competitor. And advice is basically influencing how a player might play a shot or a hole. So you can't ask somebody what club to hit. You can't tell somebody what club you've just hit. You can't sort of say, oh, tell me how this slope is going to affect the shot. That would be advice. Anything which would influence how you might play the shot or your strategy for the hole is not allowed. That information you would incur a penalty, a general penalty, which is 2 shots in stroke play and loss of hole in match play. Information that you talk about, so we could share the yardage on this shot. It wouldn't be advice if you were to say to me, well, what yardage is it? And I would look and tell you that 100 yards. That's not advice. That's public information. So it's possible for anyone to find out what a yardage is. But how should I play this shot? That's advice. So that's the distinction there. A
really key distinction there, yeah, because I think it's very highly likely that a beginner golfer would want to know how far away the flag is.
That's okay. Yeah.
And presumably they're allowed to ask, okay, well, how far is it to cover the bunker? Things like that. Is that allowed?
Yeah, that would.
So any distance information.
Any distance-related information. That's common information that would be available on a stroke saver. There's no harm in sharing that. But but you couldn't say, oh, I need to cover this bunker. What club should I have to hit to cover that bunker? That's advice, and that would be incurring a penalty.
Really interesting. So some very key distinctions there in terms of information and advice, and I think beginner golfers should definitely take note of the information that Fergus has given us there. I think it's time we hit a shot in this lovely hole here, this 10th hole at Trump International. We've got about 80 yards. Let's see if we can make a fist of it. It's got to go, Fergus.
It does. For sure.
It's in the dunes. Yeah, didn't measure it. I should have used my rangefinder. Then I would have known exactly how far it was.
Or ask me the yardage.
Or I should have asked you, shouldn't I? Yeah, I was allowed to do that. Silly me. So there you have it. I hope that helps. And remember, you can ask how far this shot is, but you can't ask what club to hit. Right, Fergus, we've moved into a bunker, and I think it's fair to say that beginner golfers, from my experience, probably break more rules here than they do anywhere else on the golf course when it comes to touching the sand, grounding the club, practice swings, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Talk us through exactly what you can and can't do in the bunker when it comes to the sand around your ball.
Okay, rule 12.2b here, and you've pretty much described it all. You can't sort of test the sand for a start.
Right.
You can't kind of push your club down into the sand to see what the condition of the sand is like.
No.
For a start, you can't ground your club either behind or in front of the ball.
Yeah.
You can't take a practice swing that touches the sand. So you can have a practice swing, but as long as you don't.
But that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's not.
That's not fine. All of these things would incur the general penalty of 2 shots in stroke play, loss of hole in match play if you were to do it. There is an exception. You can touch your club into the sand, and you were doing it just as we started this. You can lean on it to support, or if you were climbing down into the bunker, you could use it as an aid to get in. Otherwise, generally speaking, don't touch the sand with your club. Don't even actually touch it with your hand. That would be a penalty for testing the condition of the sand as well.
Okay.
So really quite a tricky one for beginner golfers, but I think basically, until you hit the shot, don't put your club in the sand.
Yeah, but if you really did want to take a practice swing, you can go into another bunker.
This is an interesting one. Yeah, you could, if there was an adjacent bunker that wasn't the same bunker as this at all, and time permits, you could go and have a quick go and just get a feel for what a bunker shot felt like, but not in the bunker that your ball lies in.
No. So there's no bunker nearby, so I'm not going to have a practice swing. I'm going to have to just go straight into this. So I'm allowed to wiggle my feet in, right, Fergus?
A wee bit, but not building your stance.
Not building a stance. Okay, well that's about as much as I can do.
Yes.
Don't touch the sand. Don't ground your club. Don't take the sand. Touch the sand on your way back as well. That's another thing that golfers do. And then we'll have a go. We'll hit that nicely.
Nicely done.
Well, that might have gone in.
But you know, by this point, I think you've broken about every rule in the book. So yeah, but a nice shot nonetheless.
Thank you. There you go. So there you have it. Those are the 6 golf rules all beginner golfers need to know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like your rules content, if you're a stickler for the rules in your group at the weekend, check out our other videos. We've got rules on bunkers, unplayable lies, penalty areas, you name it, when you lose your ball, what to do, all the different scenarios on the golf course. If you want to find out the rules on those, check out our other videos. But that's all from us here at Jump International Golfing. We'll see you next time.